Hi guys. So, like I said, we're gonna do our weekly Wednesday calls, and today I'm gonna go over schedules. I got a few schedules that I can show you, and just kind of talk about how important it is to have a schedule when you're really wanting to build a business. Even if you're not wanting to build a business, it's still good to have a schedule, because then you know when you're going to get your workouts in, even if you're just trying to overall be healthier. Especially if you're trying to do meal planning, those type of things, you know when you're going to be eating your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinners and your snacks. So having a schedule is always important to stay on track, just in general. So one of the main things that I always kind of talk to my coaches about is making a schedule, so that way you're not hearing the biggest concerns that a lot of people get, especially from their significant others or their spouses. So whether that's you're always on your phone, or you're doing stuff and selling things when it's supposed to be family time, or starting to feel overwhelmed, like you're not getting your power hour in, or your non-negotiables. So there's a few ways that you can do that. A lot of people have what it's called is a power hour, where you just kind of sit down, get it done all within 1 hour, and bam, that's it. So that's awesome for people who have an hour that they can kind of spend to that, and just get it all done all at one time. Whereas though, if you are working full-time, it might not seem that way, especially if you have kiddos where you have to go from a full-time job to doing things after work, like taking people to practices and those type of things, or you have other type of commitments that need to be done in the evening. Then you can do what is called is kind of do it your power pockets. Set aside a specific amount of time that you have throughout the day to get some of those things done. So, if as soon as you wake up in the morning, you get a couple things done, you have an hour lunch break. Sometimes it takes really only a half hour to eat. So you have a half hour to do a couple more things. Right on your way home from work, before you walk inside, do a couple more, and then do the things you need to do in the evening to be getting all that stuff done daily. Let me show you an example of someone's schedule. I'll show you mine first, and then we can talk about that, and then we can move on to some other schedules. So let me share my screen with you guys. Okay. So here is my schedule. So I've kind of broken it up into like 3 kind of sections right here. And in 15-minute increments. I did it in 15-minute increments because the way that my job works is I do home visits. So a lot of time is spent between going from location to location. So I have about 3 different areas that I have chunks of work time. And then I have little bits of times in between there. So part of that time, it's lunch or drive time, or I'm in my office. So I have some time to be able to do what I do is the power pockets. And then I do more stuff in the evening, but that's because I'm trying to really build a business. So really do it as the pace that you want to. So I do have more than just the things that are needed within the power hour, but that's because that's how I'm wanting to build right now. So as you can see, like Monday through Friday is pretty much the same when I wake up. I give myself 15 minutes to get out of bed. Sometimes it takes longer, but and then by like 6:45, the first thing that I do is I go into the bathroom, I brush my teeth, and as I'm doing that, I'm looking for my 3 ads on Facebook. Boom, get those, press add to add them as friends, and then I get my workout started. Then right after my workout, I'd shower, I get ready, and I'd leave for work. I have typically every day a 9 to 11 client, so that's where I go there and I spend my time working. At 11, I have another break time where it's spent for drive time, or again, I might be in my office where I do 3 Hey Girl messages, where most of the time that is checking in with the people who added me as friend requesting the day before. I also have my Facebook and Instagram posts that I post at that time. A lot of times I have those posts planned out ahead of time. So I'll be taking pictures of foods that I'm eating or something that Corey and I might have done, or a quote that I thought was funny that I have from Pinterest or something like that. And I make that first post. It could be either Facebook or Instagram. I like to switch up my posts between those two. And we can go over our posts and those type of things at a different Wednesday. But after that, then if I need to drive somewhere, I give myself the allotted amount of time to drive somewhere, and then again, my next session for a kiddo. Again, here's my next break that I have, and then I do 3 ads to Instagram because I'm also building my Facebook and my Instagram, and that could be, you can choose to do that, or you can choose one or the other, or maybe do 2 in one and 1 in the other, and then the next day 1 in the other, 2 in the other. It just depends on how you want to do it and whichever platform works better for you and which one you like better. Next, then I check in with my challenge group. I post my workout that I did in the morning, and then I start responding to messages that I might have gotten back the previous day or the morning or those type of things. A lot of times that seem overwhelming is when you get responses to messages, and that happens. But it doesn't mean you need to be available as soon as someone messages you, because that's when you start to feel a lot more overwhelmed. But it's fine. Just let it. Turn off your notifications, check into it at your allotted time of when you can do that. The next thing that I do is, this is typically kind of like my lunch break here. It's my biggest allotted time. So I love to read, so I'll read my personal development book or listen to the podcast. If it's on a Monday, it's most of the time the morning wake up call that week. And then I have my next, work session thing, and then I have my drive home time. So here's what we're looking at in the evening time. So I have I did put relax when I get home, because that's the first thing I do is I'll throw my stuff down and then I'll sit on the couch for a second. And so I plan that out so that way I know what I'm supposed to do next, because realistically that's what I do. So if I were to put something boom, as soon as I got home I did something, I really don't do that. The only thing that's a little different is on Wednesdays, I do have to come home right away and get my workout done, but that's because I'm going to be doing the Zoom calls. Hopefully they'll stay on Wednesdays. It might change, but because then we have our Team Foundation call afterwards. And then I get into the rest of the things that I didn't get done throughout the rest of the day. And those things, again, I check in with my challenge group again. That's because currently I'm doing 2 workouts, as you could see. And so I check in again with my challenge group so that I then make either the Facebook or Instagram post in which one I didn't do. I like to post 2 times a day. And then I do my 3 challenge group invites, my 2 coach invites, and then again I respond to messages again. And then before I go to bed, I want to get back into reading my personal development book before I go back, because I just went to Barnes & Noble and I got some new books. And so that's pretty much my week in a nutshell. Now, if you look at my weekend, realistically, I like to sleep in. That's just what I do. So Corey and I usually don't get up until about 10 or so on the weekends. If we don't have anything else to do, then it's a little bit later. But my rule on the weekends, though, is as soon as I have to get up, it's the same thing I do on any weekday, is my 3 ads are done for Facebook, and then my workout's done. Sometimes I won't get out of bed because I know my rule is as soon as I get out of bed, I have to do my workouts. So that's just what I do. But at least I get it done. And then I do a power hour basically on the weekends. I like to get it done all in the morning, all at once, as soon as I get up. So then I don't have to feel guilty or worry about it for the rest of the day. The only thing that is a little bit different, though, is on Sundays I do have a call, as well as I do the weekly updates for you guys in the team page. That way you guys know what's coming up next for the week. And then I get my challenge group posts ready if I haven't gotten that done yet. But a lot of times I get that done on Postcron, and I like to stay ahead of that so that way I don't have to worry about it throughout the week. Because obviously the week's kind of full. Again, this is what my schedule looks like right now, and that's because I'm actively trying to really push and build my business. So that doesn't have to be what you do. You don't have to build on each social media that you're working on. It's just whichever one you feel comfortable with. It could just be on Facebook, or it could just be on Instagram, whichever one you prefer. Honestly, I like Instagram better, but Facebook's where I really connect with people the most. So let's look into, I think it's Keisha's old schedule that she used to have when she was working. So let's look at that one. Okay, so this is, as you can see, Keisha's rough business building schedule. So this was really while she was really pushing before she was about to quit her corporate job. So like you see right there, those were her dates where she was really pushing really hard because she knew she was about to quit. So her schedule looks a little different, and her increments are different than mine. They are 15 minutes, but it's not done on an Excel sheet. It's whatever will work for you. So as you can see, she's got her Monday through Friday, because those are obviously different because of the work week. So she woke up, she right away followed up with her messages. That to each their own on what you want to do when you first wake up. There have been a couple listening into personal development, those type of things, like give yourself a little bit of time before doing messages and those type of things, because sometimes some of the messages and those type of things aren't always going to be the most positive. And if you're kind of like me, you're not a morning person, so you're not on your best foot yet. You don't have your best foot forward yet. So it takes a little while. But she, followed up on her team page, did business building groups and challenge groups. At that time, she had a lot more coaches and those type of things, so she had a lot more to check into. Again, she's got her workout checked in here, checking the challenge groups, get your workout, get ready for the day while listening to podcasts. A lot of times there are going to be moments where you're going to say, I don't have time for this. When I first started, I literally said, I don't have time for this shit. Like, no joke. I probably had a couple other choice words in there, but I literally said that. But if you think about it, there are a lot of things that you can be doing at the same time. So like Keisha here, while she was in the shower and getting ready for work, she had a podcast going. That's doing your personal development throughout the day. While I'm driving, I have my podcast going. That's the same thing. Are you using any extra time? No. What would you have been doing anyways? Listening to music. So really you're kind of like multitasking and getting it done when an open time was available, and you really didn't need to make time. So then right here, 10:30, quick post. 12 through 1, she normally didn't get a whole hour lunch, but these are one of the things that she did. A lot of times too, the thing that interferes with some of your getting your power hour done or your pockets done is wasting time on Facebook or Instagram and scrolling and looking at people's pages and then opening this and doing that. If you really don't have time, then you don't have time and you got to get it done. So setting this allotted time and doing the schedule makes you get it done quicker, because you have other things you need to get done. So then it looks, she goes from 1 all the way until 6 p.m. She isn't doing anything but anything and checking in. Again, if you look for here, it's between 8 a.m. and doesn't check again until her break at 10:30. From 10:30, she doesn't check in until again at noon. So these are realistic, even if you are working at a full-time job. It's just basically check-ins that you can do within 15 minutes. So then in the evening, she was doing a lot more between there and staying up a lot later as well, till 11 p.m. doing calls and those type of things. Again, she's on Eastern Standard Time, so the times were different when she needed to talk to her team. Saturdays are a lot different for everyone, because obviously you're trying to do a lot more because it's the weekend. So her schedule was pretty lax in between there. One of the main things that I say with making a schedule is it makes it easier for you to see when you're supposed to be getting things done and easier to see when you're supposed to be off. So if it's Tuesday nights and you usually do date nights on Tuesday nights, then you need to be putting that in your schedule. Make it in there so that way you know you're not supposed to be filling it with something else. Or you know earlier in the day you need to be getting something else done because you have that in the evening. Or if you have kids, it's the same thing. You need to be putting gymnastics practice in there or swim lessons or whatever that might be, because if you don't put it in that schedule, you're not going to get stuff done earlier in the day and you're going to feel overwhelmed and behind. Making a schedule makes it realistic for the other people in your family and those type of things. You can say, okay, this is what I'm doing and this is the time frame that I'm going to do it at. So let me get this done and then we can have our time together. We can go out to the movies on Thursdays because on Wednesdays I have my team calls and those type of things so they can see what it looks like. What is this going to look like for you? And that they don't just see it as you're spending so much time on the computer, you're spending so much time on your phone. It's no, this is what I'm doing and this is what it looks like. And these are the days and times that I'm going to be doing it at. But the most important part is that you stick to it, because if you're going to make this schedule and you're going to tell your significant other this is what it's going to look like and you don't stick to it and you're just scrolling through Facebook or you're starting to play Candy Crush or those type of things, then you're not sticking to it. And then that's when it starts to not go well and you don't get things done and you feel overwhelmed or you're staying up really, really late because you need to catch up on some things. And so that's why I always say when I have people who are starting out, okay, what does your day like? What is realistic for you? So I have another schedule I could show you. Someone else who did it similar to me with a Excel. Schedule. Okay, and so she has it color coded kind of similarly, but she's got a little key over here. So non-negotiables, green, business building opportunities, organization type things. So for the team, those type of things. And then challenge group stuff and miscellaneous. So these are other things that she has throughout her day that she needs to get added in there. Like I had mentioned before, if you've got take your kids to swimming lessons or gymnastics, those type of things, or you do date nights on Thursday evenings, that's where this would go for her. She's got her increments broken down into what worked for best for her. So it kind of looks like hour, half hour times. But you see, she wakes up in the morning, her workout, her shakes. She's got to get ready from this time to this time. And her Instagram posts are over here. So her Friday looks a little different. Her personal developments in here, her post that she's going to do, her daily to-do list, which we'll go over that in a second, and I'll show you what that can look like too. That can help you with your schedule and make you stay on track. Checking into her Facebook group times. So this must be a 10 to 11, another time while she's doing some other type of work. Posts again, Facebook message follow-ups, personal development. She's got a kickboxing class over here. She's got other types of workouts over here. She's got soccer. So those are things that she's got within her week that she wants to make sure are accounted for. So she knows when she needs to get stuff done earlier, because in the evening she's got soccer to go to. And like her weekends. So it starts a bit later. Not as late as mine, but it does start later. And you can see she's got a couple other things that she prefers to do. So going to go get coffee on the weekends is something that she wanted to make time for, or watching the football game on Sundays. So she put that in there. Everybody's schedule is going to look different, and how much time you have for them looks different as well. So as you can see, there's not big chunks of work time in here for her, but she has a lot of opportunity to be working at home and those type of things. And that was just how her schedule is. So everyone's schedule is going to be different, whether you are working stuff throughout the day or you just do get it done at the end of the day, because you really don't have time to check in throughout the day. It's going to be whatever works best for you. But really sticking to that schedule is going to help. So there's a couple key type of things you could fill out to make sure you're sticking to those throughout the day of your non-negotiables. So let me show you what one of those looks like.
Maybe just say that your feelings are hurt and that like you really wish you could have been there to support her.
Okay, so this is a form that Keisha had made, and it's my daily non-negotiables. I had another one that I posted in a Team Cup page, and I can share that on our team page. So basically, she has a binder full of these, and one for every day, so she can kind of go back and look if she needed to. So date, what workout did you do? Shakeology, did you get that done? Did you drink your water throughout the day? Who are the 3 people that she reached out to? So these are her non-Beachbody messages that she was sending. Who did you invite to challenge groups or for the coaching opportunity? And right here, who do you need to follow up with? So looking back on the day before or the couple days before is going to help you with this follow-up piece. But it's also going to help you keep track of those people who you were talking to previously. Personal development. So what are you reading right now? What podcast did you listen to today? And right here for your aha moment, like what did you get out of that personal development? So one of the important things is if you're going to be doing that, make sure you're getting something out of it. And to-do list. So was there a team call that you needed to do? Was there something you were supposed to check into? Those type of things that you would put down here. These things are going to help you stay on track with your schedule throughout the day because you can see, okay, so you got those 15 minutes in. Who are you supposed to follow up with? Who did you write down that you're going to invite? Talk to those people and those people only, and set it within the time frame that you have set aside for doing that. Now, a lot of times it's kind of like, oh, that's easier said than done, but realistically, if you get it done, it's going to make you feel a lot less overwhelmed and you can see it. I'm a visual person, so if I can see it and I'm like, okay, I've only got here to here and I got to get it done and I got to get it done right now. If I have any extra time, I'm like, yes. And then you can scroll Facebook or you can play Candy Crush or you can do whatever it is you want to do on your phone afterwards. But you feel like you got it done and you're not going to get that overwhelming feeling of like rushed or you're not doing it or something's not going well because you're doing small things every single day and it's going to add up. So if you do those small things every single day and stick to your schedule, you're not going to get that overwhelmed feeling. You're not going to get that burnt out feeling, and you're going to overall feel like you accomplished what you needed to in the day and have that extra time that you have left over to have the date night or to do whatever it is you want to do in the evening. I will put some of these examples into the team page so that way you guys can see what they look like. If you have any questions about making your own schedule or what some of those power hour things look like, look into the files tab and you can see the list of the power hour. But I'd be more than happy to have a call with you guys and do that, help you guys with that and making your own schedules. I hope this is helpful for you, and if you have any further questions, please let me know and don't ever hesitate to ask. Have a good night, guys. Bye.